Grabe. Let's ride. Wow. Woo! Good morning once again mga ka-rides. This is your bro doing again another motor review. And this time it's a different bike. This time I'm riding for the first time ever an American muscle. And this is the Harley Davidson Sportster 48. This is the first time ever that I have tried this bike, and honestly I was not really a fan of Harleys, to be honest. I used to think that Harleys are just noisy, heavy, gas guzzling things. But now I'm riding one and I'm hearing the sound of it's like a huge storm coming, you know, with the lightning and the thunder. Maybe the front headlights represent the lightning, and the sound is the thunder. Have you seen the reaction? Woo! Alright, let's talk about the bike. Enough with the amazement. So this is a 1200cc engine, V-twin, that gives a very unique sound, and it's a trademark of the Harleys. It's an air-cooled, but this one has already the aftermarket. I think this is the air intake, this one. Looks cool. Though this is a 1200cc engine, but I can say this one doesn't consume as much as the other Harleys I know. This is around 19 to 20 kilometers per liter on the paper. But the compromise is it's not as fast as the other leader bikes like the R1s, because it has a different engine configuration. It's a sports bike anyway. And as you can see, the tank is kind of cute, but you'll really appreciate the classic look if you love classic designs. Though it's not as light as the other bikes, but it's not as heavy as the other bigger Harleys. This bike only weighs around 247 dry. I'm talking about without the gas, without the oils and other fluids that should be put in this bike. So it's quite heavy compared to the Ninjas or the R1s or the other naked sport bike, because those bikes average only around 200 to 220 kilos. So to give you an idea, Z1000 weighs around 221 kilos, and this bike weighs around 247 dry. With the gas and other fluids put on this bike, this will weigh around 252 kilos. So it's quite heavy compared to the other bikes I mentioned, but this is not as heavy as the bigger Harley Davidsons I used to know. The gas tank has the capacity of 7.9 liters. It's around 2 gallons. So you will say that how could they make such a small tank in this kind of bike which has a 1200 cc. The range of this bike when full tank is around 140 to 145 kilometers. The Sportsters were produced way back 1950s, so this is a really classic bike. Actually, this bike is not designed to travel far, I think. Actually, Harley Davidson designed this bike to be a cool looking urban rider. And I think we have to make a U-turn because it's already about to rain. It's raining, man! But the show must go on, right? So anyway, this bike is not designed to go far in one tank, but 140-150 kilometers in one ride is already enough, I think, before you have to fill in again. That's enough distance for you to have a short rest or maybe a nap. It's up to you. Let's try the power. I think fifth. Okay, let's downshift. 4, 3, 2. Third gear. Okay, it's fast enough to perform overtakes, but it's not crazy fast compared to the sports bikes. This bike is designed to ride with comfort and a little bit of excitement and a little bit of everything. I think you will love this bike. The position, my feet are in the forward position, you see. Usually Harley Davidson's handlebars are in this position, but you see this one, the Sportster 48, it has a lower handlebars, but not as low. You still feel upright, but a little hunched over. So you feel really, really relaxed. The engine, by the way, has 60 horsepower. The top speed of this bike, as per the Harley Davidson, is around 170 kilometers per hour. So it's not really fast, but it's fast enough to test your heart rate. The price of this bike here in the Philippines is around 850,000 pesos according to my research, or it's about $17,000 to 19,000, I think. It depends on the variant you're going to choose. So there are 3 color options: black, blue, and white. For me, having this kind of bike is already like a status symbol. It's almost saying like, yeah, I'm somebody, you know, without even saying a word or without even introducing yourself. But unintentionally, you're saying that, yeah, I have a deep pocket. Because everyone knows that Harleys are not cheap to maintain. The spare parts, especially here in our country, the Philippines, it's not easy to find, unlike the Japanese brands. So you have to have a deep pocket and at the same time commitment when you're choosing to purchase a bike like this. So I'm still getting used to this kind of position because I always forget that the feet position is a little forward. So whenever I stop in the traffic lights, I always miss the foot pegs here. I thought it's always here. So let's try in the city how this little beast performs. So this is the part where you will notice one of the negatives of having a bike like this, an air-cooled bike with a huge engine. At low speeds, which I am doing right now because of the traffic, you will feel the engine heat, both legs. But I think the heat, I can feel it more on the right side. Yeah, maybe because of the aftermarket air intake. So you have to be very, very careful not to fry your leg, your right leg, and of course the aftermarket exhaust, because you see it's just an inch away from my leg, my right leg. So riding at around 40 to 50 kilometers per hour in the city at second and third gear, so that's the time you will feel the engine heat. This bike is designed for more torque rather than the speed. As I have mentioned earlier, this bike has 60 horsepower, but the torque is 96 Newton meters. Even the road is not as good. The bike still performs well even during cornering because of the thick meaty tires. In front, this has a 130, I think 90 by 16. And at the rear, this has a 150, 80, 16 tire size.